Welcome back, guys. So today we're going to go over Framework. Now, Framework is a very useful tool while building anything gigantic or whether it just be a small starter house. Framework can be very implemented into different builds, different types of builds, and it's very helpful towards me as a builder just because so I can get a slight image on what I want, whether it be size or height. See, these are just two examples on what you could do for Framework. Now, you wouldn't use wool for Framework in like survival. You might use it in creative to make something gigantic, and you want to get just the nice little frame just so you can see what it's going to actually look like once you put a lot of detail into it before you put a lot of detail into it. Now, for the basic aesthetic, for basics of Framework, the easiest build to practice Framework on would be organics. Now, what I mean by organics is making your own mountain or hill, just so if you don't find something in the world that you want to build a base in, you can create your own. Now, what we're going to be doing today is creating our own mountain slash peak, which I've already done behind me, and I'll show you in a second. Now, for organics, the one thing you need to really get in your head is nature is not perfect. There's irregulars. There are abnormal structures and divots in the mountain, or whether it be different materials you use. Now this right here, that's the one I've already built. Now at first glance, that does not look organic at all whatsoever. The reason for that being is people who've played Minecraft for so long, you start seeing what it should look like and notice that there's different blocks all over the place. It's not just one particular block like this is right here. Now if you strip a mountain and you look at the guts, what you'll see is different blocks spread out everywhere, whether it be ironite or diorite, ores, gravel, sand. There are infinite possibilities. Now, the reason this doesn't look natural is because people who've played Minecraft forever, they know what it should look like. That is not what it should look like. Alright, so guys, I just found a little mountain range just to give you an example. See how there's different blocks, different everything. I mean, there's the dirt is combining with the stone. There's ores all over the place. There's diorite and all the other fancy dancy blocks that have been implemented. Occasionally you'll see lava, water, anything that could be just a little abnormal. Alright guys, so just to give you an example before we go over Framework and how to implement it into your build, I'm going to touch this up to make it look a little more natural. I'm not going to do too much detail just because I want to get on with the tutorial on how to use Framework. So I'll be right back once I get this finished. Alright guys, so we're back. I just did a little bit of aesthetic work. I didn't do too much detail into it just because I don't want to make this a long video. So just to reiterate, now the different blocks, you don't want to overpower the stone just because that is the main block. So you just want to do hints of different blocks implemented into the build. I didn't do two big patches. They're spread out. Put some gravel in there, and that block still hasn't got grass on it. And then if you're not doing anything on top, you just want it for aesthetic look, make a top. Don't leave it just blank. That is not the way to go. Okay, so now to see that this isn't just a actual Now to see that this isn't just a mountain, you will look inside so you can see the... Now, you won't be able to see the framework inside just because with organic builds, you want to make it look as imperfect as possible. With more detailed builds that are not organic, you'll actually, if you open up the build, you'll see the framework inside, and yeah, you'll be able to tell what they did. So let's go over here a little ways. We're going to try to do almost the same exact thing as that. I mean, it's not going to be exact the same just because it is organic. Now what you want to do is start off with your main block, and you're going to go, it's completely whatever you feel like doing it. And if you're a perfectionist like I am, you're going to really have a tough time with organics, just because you got to get past that mindset that it's not supposed to be perfect. So this tutorial isn't really a tutorial on how to do things exactly the way I do them. It's just to show you how you can do them. It is completely how you feel like doing it and whatever you want to do, just because every build that's organic is not the same. It's not meant to be the same, so don't try to do the same thing as I do. This is just show you a technique on how to do a framework for organic builds. Now what you want to do is start off with you want to start from the bottom, go all the way to the top, and get at least 4 frames so you can see the shape of the build. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go let's go this big. Now see how it's not the same on every edge, it's not perpendicular, it's not the same. So what you want to do is start off with edge and just spam the hell out of the block. Now you want to make sure you do a lot of high. You don't want it to be the same. Now that's the frame. Now you go to the next edge, and you do not want to do the same thing, but you do want to end close to the same height. Okay, so the next step is to get your first, I don't know how to phrase this, your first frame for your form. Now what this means is you want to pick a block about this height, and you're going to go all the way around and connect it. Now what this is going to help you do is when you're building up, it's not only going to show you the shape of your build, it's also going to help you figure out where you should place the blocks. Alright, so there's your first frame for your form. Now you want to do this generally, I don't know, maybe like 5 blocks up each time. I mean, there's a little leeway if you're doing a smaller build like this is. So we'll probably just go every 3 blocks, roughly. So I'm going to do the same thing that we just did right here. And again, you don't want it to be perfect, so you're just spamming it and then reforming it to what you think looks good. And I promise you, it's gonna turn out it's gonna turn out good. So I'm gonna do the rest of the framing, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is the end of the frame. So as you can see, it just gives you a general shape of your build, which is very helpful when it's a bigger build like that was. it's not necessarily that helpful when it's a smaller build like this is, but it's still nice to see what it's going to look like at the end. So now for the next part, we're just going to, now this is particularly what you feel like. It's just generally what you think would look good, but you don't want to overthink it too much. So just go with the flow. Wherever you see a frame, try to connect it to the next frame, connect it to the next frame, connect it to the next frame. So let's do this one together, and then I'll do the rest on the off screen. Alright, so there's the bottom frame done, and right now it doesn't look organic at all, but once we once we input the different blocks in there, it's going to look a lot better than what it is right now. So I'm going to finish up the rest of the frames, and honestly guys, you just fill in blocks where you think it needs to be filled in. It's not that big of a technique to do organic builds. So I'm going to do this real quick and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so the frame's done, the siding's done. Now it's time to implement the different blocks and different styling that you can do. Now for this, actually let's look inside just so you can see. That's, I mean, you can kind of see where our frames were, but you kind of can't. I actually missed a block over here. I actually missed 2 blocks over here. Okay, is there any more? I don't think so. Alright, anyways, now what I want to do, first things first, pick your top. Grass blocks, nice basic. And you just want to fill the top really quick. And I'll do that off screen so you guys don't have to sit here through me just putting a top on this thing. I shall be right back. Okay guys, so I did a little topper on this. Just a nice little cool little farm thing. It looks nice. Very nice. Okay, so now the next part of the organics is doing the irregular blocks. So granite, diorite, andesite. You can add coal ore, gravel, and dirt. Now, is there any other? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so now you do not want this to overpower it. You just want it to complement the build and get your gaze off on how irregular, well, non-organic this looks. So what you want to do is pick a spot. Any spot will do. Take a portion of the build off and just put these blocks back on. Okay, now you want to do a little spot all the way around the build of each block. And just complement it. Nice, easy compliments. Like you're trying to pick up a chick. You don't want to come off creepy. You just want to get in her pants. Alright. So, let's see one more spot of granite. So we'll take this apart. Okay. Move on to the next block. The same thing. Take apart a build. Implement your block. Now if you have water on top of it in a hollow build, you want to make sure that you cover those spots just so it doesn't like stream through and make it look like it's hollow. So that's just something to note. There's a little portion of our frame. Now I don't like using too much of this block just because I don't prefer this block. It's a little too dark for me. I mean, it's great for some builds, but I generally don't use it. So I probably don't do much of that. Alright, now a little bit of ore. Now you don't want to do too much of coal just because, you know, it'll look a little too suspicious, and if you're in a server, some people might come try to mine it, and you know, it's really not a great thing to have someone take a part of your build. Okay, I think that's enough coal. Now with the gravel, hold on. Now, gravel's kind of hard to work with, just because, you know, it's going to fall down if you don't, so you're going to have to pick a block that has a bottom to it, and add a little bit of gravel. I'm not going to do much, just another reason I don't like gravel. Now with the dirt, you want to make sure that if you have a ledge like this, to cover it a little bit, not too much, just a little complement. Then next thing you want to do is make a little border of where the dirt should end. Just gonna go through here and just spam. Okay. I can't destroy that block. Can't believe I had to think about that. And then you're just going to take out the stone and put your dirt in instead. Now generally you only have to do this to the top of the build, but if it's like a hill or something that has a lot of grass, you're going to have to do more of it. But just for this one, you don't have to do that much. Now you can keep portions of the stone to make it look regular, and that's a good look to go for, especially the organic builds. Alright guys, so there is our organic framework. I mean, you can do a lot more detailing into it, but it's all what you want to do. So if you don't want to do too much, you don't have to do too much, but it's what you want to do. That's all Minecraft is. It's what you want to build, what you want to mine, what you want to survive. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Anything helps. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.